Hello again and welcome to another Tots Praise. Let's do our rhyme and get that lovely mouse out here. Are you ready? Do it with me this time. Everybody gather round, be real quiet and don't make a sound. Sit very still and don't run about. Let's all see who might come out. We'll all count 1, 2, 3, and who's here? It's Monty!
It's me!
Hi Monty, there you go. Let's get you across there.
Can you get my tail out?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. Hi Jen! Oh, my tail's gone again.
Oh, there we go. There.
Hello Jen! Hello everybody!
Hi Monty. How has your week been this week?
Oh. I don't know where to start really.
Oh dear.
Well, I think it's the same for everybody.
Yeah.
But being inside the house all day gets a bit hard with the whole family.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Oh, are you getting under each other's feet a bit?
Yeah, well, Mrs. Monty and me are fine, but like all the kids, they argue all the time. Fight, 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 fight.
Oh no, Monty. You're going to have to be a peacemaker.
A what?
A peacemaker, somebody who brings peace.
Oh, peacemaker.
That's right.
What does that mean then?
Well, so if someone's arguing,
Yeah.
then you need to be the person to step in and say, come on, let's just talk. Let's just use normal voices. Let's work this out.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, okay. And that's being a peacemaker. That's a good thing if it stops people from squabbling all the time.
It does, Monty, it does. And peace is something that God asks us to have in our lives as well. So if we're finding it hard to be a peacemaker, we can always pray as well.
And is it like, because we've looked at love and joy.
That was last week, yes?
Yeah. So is it the same?
It's the same, exactly. When we invite God into our lives, He gives us these different amazing gifts.
Love.
Yeah, and joy, and this time, peace. That's right. And just so that we can be clear about what peace is, would you like to hear a story?
Oh. Yes, please.
Right, well, let's do what's in the bag, and then we've got our story.
Okay, let's go. I'll count.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
What's in the bag? Keira and Ella are going to tell us now.
Thank you.
Ella, shall we see what's in the bag? Shall we see what the story is? It's about making peace. Shall we have a look in the bag? Shall we have a look inside what's in the bag? What's in the bag? Okay, you want to get something out?
Say, what's in the bag? What's in the bag?
Okay, you want to get something out?
Let me get.
Ooh, those look like pretend swords. And what else can you find in the bag, Ella?
Cookies.
What do you want to get? Ooh, what's that, Ella? Shall we show them? It's a crown. Like a king's crown. I think the story's got a king in it. Hey, and what else? What else can you find in the bag for us for the story, Ella? Ooh, cheese. And what's in here?
Cheese.
Oh, supplies, other things, bread and food. And we've got the other sword. So today's story must be about a king.
In the Bible, there was a rich man named Nabal, who was known for being rude. GRRRRRR. Nabal had a large flock of sheep and goats, and a wife named Abigail. Unlike Nabal, Abigail was known for being sweet and kind. Hi! Not far from where Nabal and Abigail lived, a very important king, King David, was camping with his soldiers. King David needed supplies. Him and his men were running out of food. Back then, if a king needed food, he would just ask somebody, and they had to obey and give him what he asked for. So King David gathered 2 men together and told them to go and find Nabal, whose farm was close by. He told the men to greet Nabal with kind words and ask him for supplies, knowing that Nabal should then return the kindness and give them what he asked for, because that was the rules. So the men went to Nabal's farm. They found Nabal and greeted him with nice words and asked him for what they needed. But they were amazed to see that Nabal was nasty. Grrr. He called them names and told them to go away. The men returned to King David and told him what had happened. This was awful. This was not allowed. This was breaking the rules. King David was angry. He told his men to grab their swords, and together they were going to go back to Nabal's farm to teach him a lesson. Meanwhile, back at Nabal's farm, Abigail had heard about how rude Nabal had been to the king's soldiers. Oh no! She knew her husband's bad behaviour would get them into trouble, and so she gathered together food and supplies into a basket, loaded it onto a donkey, and set off for the king's camp. David and his men were storming through the desert, ready to teach Nabal a lesson, when they saw Abigail. Abigail bowed down to King David and begged him not to hurt her husband. She asked him to stop and think before he acted out of anger. King David stopped and took a deep breath. He then thanked God for sending Abigail to calm him down before he did something he might regret. David accepted Abigail's gifts of supplies and went home. Hooray! Because Abigail asked David to think about forgiveness, David chose peace instead of anger. Abigail brought peace and saved the day.
So today we are going to make a peace dove in celebration of Abigail and the amazing story that she brought peace and calm to a situation that could have got out of hand. So let's start. So this is what hopefully we will end up with at the end. So the first thing you need to do is get a piece of paper, so nice and flat. Draw around your hand nice and carefully. Make sure you spread out those lovely fingers because that's the feathers of the dove. Now, if you are a little bit older, you can cut it out yourself, but be really careful. We need all those lovely thumbs and fingers to be shown, but if not, get a big person to help you cut it out. So hopefully then you will have a lovely print of your hand. Then get a slightly darker, if you can, I love purple. So I put it on a purple because it's a nice contrast. And you position your handprint so it looks like that. So it's like a bird flying, like the dove. So then you glue that on, lots of lovely glue. Try not to get it everywhere. You can then start to decorate. Now, I'm not artistic at all, so this has taken me a long time, even to put an eye and a lovely, lovely beak. And then in your best writing, can you ask a lovely grown-up how to spell it? P-E-A-K-E. Peace. A lovely, lovely peace dove. Now, if you haven't got any white paper or lovely contrast paper, you can use paint. If you want to get a bit messy, just make a handprint, lots of paint on, make a handprint on the paper and then wait for it to dry and then decorate it. Or you can use a wax crayon. Anyway, I hope you have a lot of fun making it, and hopefully see you all soon. Take care. Bye.
Shine from the inside out, that the world will see you live in me. Shine from the inside out, that the world will see you live in me. You know me, and you love me, you feel me, so send me. You know me, and you love me, you feel me, so send me to shine from the inside out, that the world will see you live in me. Shine from the inside out, that the world will see you live in me. You know me, and you love me, you feel me, so send me. You know me, and you love me, you feel me, so send me to show me, love me, feel me, send me. Know me, love me, feel me, send me. Know me, love me, feel me, send me. Know me, love me, feel me, send me to shine from the inside out, so the world will see you live in me. Shine from the inside out, that the world will see you live in me. Know me, and you love me, you feel me, so send me. Know me, and you love me, you feel me, so send me. Know me, love me, feel me, 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 send me to shine from the inside out, that the world will see you live in me. Shine from the inside out, that the world will see you live in me.
For today's prayers, you're going to need a zip. And then as you pray for peace with the people around you, your family, your brothers and sisters, your mums and dads, or even people out in the world or places and countries that you know have war, as you pray for peace, for that great peace that only God can bring, you can zip up the zip. That is like your prayer literally bringing people back together, people who are fighting coming back together, just like the teeth of the zip coming back together. And when you have finished zipping up your zip and finished your prayer for peace, you can do a great big Tots praise. Amen.